What's up guys, and welcome to another review video. Today I am doing another video on the Lems Boulder Boot, the leather version. I did a unboxing and initial impressions video not too long ago, and since then I've managed to go on a hike with these boots, 2 days, on overnight, about 35 k's, and I wanted to kind of share my thoughts how they went after my first hike. Now definitely, because it is only after one hike, it's not a be-all, end-all type review. It's just a initial impressions after the first hike. So I just wanted to share, make sure you guys were aware of that. Things I wanted to cover really is comfort, performance, and durability of the boots so far. Just bear in mind though that I only really wore this boot around the house and kind of to and from the shops a few times before I went on the trail, so they were definitely worn in on the trail. In regards to comfort though, they are pretty good, especially when it comes to that wide toe box, and this is really why I got this boot. I have been an owner of the Lems Primal shoe for 6 months now, if not a little bit longer. My daily wear to work, to the gym, around town, really comfortable boot, predominantly because of that wide toe box. I really do struggle to find a comfortable shoe which is wide enough, especially when it comes to trail shoes, let alone boots. So these Lems boots were a big plus for me, the fact that they had that wide toe box. In regards to sizing, I normally wear a 10.5 US. I went onto the Lems website and measured my foot up using their scale, etc. Or using their sizing chart. It came out as a 11 US, which I got, and it's been pretty much spot on lengthwise. My toe goes to about a centimetre before the end of the boot, which is exactly what you want. Gives you a little bit of wiggle room there, but I am going to say that the rest of the boot feels pretty big and a little bit loose. Now I did say that I wore these boots pretty much on the trail. I did experience some hot spots on my heels, on one of my heels. It wasn't quite a blister. I put some blister tape over it, and on the second day it wasn't that much of an issue once the boots had worn in from the first day a little bit. But I definitely feel around in the middle part of my ankle, etc., there's definitely seems to be a fair bit of material kind of moving around, which could lead to hot spots, blisters, and whatever else. But that's something that I need to do a few more hikes with to really get an idea of how it's going to sit on my foot. The toe box, perfect. The rest of the boot, we'll see. The inside of the boot has that cotton lining, which is actually pretty warm. I originally brought this boot for winter hikes. I do pretty much only winter hikes here in Australia. It's too hot to go out during summer. So it wasn't too much of a concern for me, with people that said it's quite warm, but I can tell you it definitely wears really warm. I felt my foot sweating, and when I took the boot off at lunch and at the end of the day, I definitely felt like my foot had sweated a lot more than, say, in my other boots, or definitely more than in like trail shoes. So that's something to really bear in mind. Definitely not going to be a summer boot. Lems makes a non-leather version. I think that's probably a little bit more popular. Not as waterproof. Again, winter, and I brought it for winter, and I did want that more kind of waterproof boot, so that's kind of why I went this way. But again, it wears really, really warm. The rest of it is pretty good in terms of comfort. It has a pretty thin sole. In terms of usability or performance, that's a good thing. I'll explain why shortly, but in terms of comfort, it can be a bit of a negative because you're going to feel the entire trail underneath your feet. It's not as bad as I make it sound on shorter trips, but definitely if you're going to be knocking out 20 plus kilometer days, 30 plus kilometer days, especially on uneven single trail, uneven ground, your foot, if you're not used to it, is going to get sore. I wear the Primals as my daily wear, so my foot was reasonably used to it, but even at the end of that, at the end of the trip, my feet were starting to feel it. So 2, 3, 4, 5 days on the trail with these might be a little bit much, and that's why it might be more of a day hiking boot shoe rather than, you know, a multi-day type boot. So we'll see how we go on further trips with that. In saying that, you know, the performance factor of a soft sole is pretty awesome, because you're gonna be able to really tackle, you know, scrambles and tough terrain with a lot of confidence. I did a lot of scrambling on this last trip, and you know, that sole really bends and molds to whatever is beneath your feet. So when you're climbing up and you're scrambling, etc., it's awesome. You can really feel, I mean, they're almost like rock climbing shoes. You know, they're closer to rock climbing shoes, so that's a big plus in that regard. Reliability, durability rather, they're leather boots. Like, they've held up pretty damn well. There's, you know, scrapes and scratches and everything from just one trip, but there's nothing really torn or whatever on the boot, so not too bad. The only concern is with this one, I've had some of the thread there come loose. I'm not sure, it doesn't seem to affect anything in there. I might just be able to cut it and that'll be fine, but I'm just going to take a photo and shoot it off to the manufacturer just in case. A little bit of TLC, as with every leather product, and these boots should last quite a long time. In my future videos, after a few more hikes, I'm going to do another video on these ones, but like in 5-6 hikes time, and see how they're kind of going then. But durability wise, I don't see it being an issue at all. My kind of biggest concern, and I guess the summary of this video, is comfort for longer multi-day hikes. We'll see how we go. I'm not too sure just yet. As a day hiking boot, yeah, or even an overnighter, or on kind of okay, like not too long, not too difficult trips, awesome. Especially in winter, like they're nice, they're warm, they're waterproof. If you're going to kind of day hike, you know, up a mountain, scramble, etc., perfect, absolutely perfect. And that's pretty much it. If you have any further questions, or if I've missed something that you want to know, feel free to ask below. If you got something out of this video, a thumbs up would be awesome. But as always, guys, thanks for watching and happy trails.